I feel like I'm a little bit out of the loop when it comes to new makeup launches. And usually in the beginning of 2024, a lot of brands have like one really big launch. The high-end brands don't tend to do like full collections, but I feel like they'll do like a foundation or like a new staple product. And then the drugstore brands do launch a lot of products. I have been testing out a lot of drugstore products, but I think a lot of those came out end of December. I'm planning on doing a big review roundup in a few days on everything I've been testing out. I might film it ranking style because there are some really good ones and then some really bad ones too. But in today's video, I thought we could just catch up. I mean, maybe you're caught up, but maybe you'll just kind of have fun sitting and hanging out with me as I catch up on all of the new makeup launches. Okay, so I did just do a video on the new Sephora value sets because there were a ton of value sets available like the very beginning of 2024. And normally we don't see those. Like we might see a few scattered throughout the year. We see a ton launched during the holiday season, but I was really surprised to see so many on Sephora's website. So honestly, if you are shopping for something new, it might be worth checking out the value sets just so you can get a little bit more for what you pay. But there was one that I wanted to share that I didn't see before when I filmed that video. I think it just launched and these Sephora favorites kits do sell out very, very quickly. So I wanted to share it in case you're interested in it. So this is the Fresh Face Makeup Kit. It retails for $45. They say it has a $138 value. I think it comes out to be more like $116.95 to be exact. So not a big difference, just worth noting. It's an 8-piece set of bestsellers and it's supposed to help you create like your perfect no makeup look. And it does have full-size products as well as some minis, and a lot of these products have gone viral or they're super popular. So there are 3 full-size products in here. The first one is the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Puffy Nude. This retails for $24. I did try this product. Honestly, the lip liner formula is really good. It lasts longer than a lot of other lip liners I've tried. The only thing about this is because it is a plumping lip liner, it is a little bit painful. Like it definitely burns and stings a little bit, but there really isn't any sort of plumping effect. You also get a full-size Huda Beauty Cream Kohl eye pencil in the shade Very Brown. I haven't tried this, but I have been wearing brown eyeliner quite a bit. I'm wearing brown pencil liner on my upper lash line with a little bit of powder on top. And I feel like it's just nice. It's a little bit softer than black. I feel like it's not as intense. So I wouldn't be opposed to trying that out. And then you get a full-size Tarte mascara, the Lights Camera Lashes mascara in black. That retails for $25. You do get a mini Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy, which I know a lot of people love the Rare Beauty blushes, myself included. You get a mini Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in Universal, which is the translucent shade. I forget what shade I have. I don't have the translucent one, but it is a really interesting product. It's not something I reach for all the time. It's definitely more so a product that I think is ideal if you have oily skin or during the summer when it's really hot out. You get a mini Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy, which is like their bronzing drops that have gone absolutely viral. I did try those a few years ago and I didn't love them on me personally, but I don't do like really any sort of self-tanning. So I felt like when I was using those on my face, then my face was a little bit too tan for the rest of my body. So if you are a fan of self-tanner and your face tends to be a little bit lighter, you might enjoy those. You get a mini Iconic London Glow Hydrating Spray, which I haven't tried, but I do think I've heard good things about that. And then a mini Makeup by Mario Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Serum in the shade Pink Glow, which I do really like that formula. It's basically like a mix between a balm and a gloss. So for me personally, I've either tried or I currently own most of the products, like 6 out of the 8 products. So this kit isn't for me personally, but if you're someone who hasn't tried a lot of these brands and you really like trying viral products, really popular brands at Sephora, this could be a really good kit. And I definitely think the value is there. Okay, so I think this is the first Valentine's Day collection I've seen so far. And I think brands as a whole do tend to launch more Valentine's Day collections these days than they used to. I like it. I think Valentine's Day collections are really fun because they tend to focus on like the pinks and the purples and the reds. And the one that I usually look out for is Natasha Denona's because she does such a good job. She usually focuses more so on pink and purple, but this year she went like a slightly different direction. So no eyeshadow palette this time around, although I did see some comments saying they would have loved to see a cranberry eyeshadow palette, and I feel like that would have been so beautiful. But there are some cranberry tones in a couple of my other Natasha Denona palettes. Anyway, she says this is inspired by her best-selling My Dream Cheek Trio, which I personally didn't try. I have heard good things about that whole like My Dream collection, which I believe had like some lip products, a cheek trio, and an eyeshadow palette. But this has a cream blush, a tinted glow base, and a dream glow highlighter, all in new cranberry hues. I'm personally not super into blush right now. I feel like this blush tone is really pretty and it would be fun to play around with, but I just haven't been wearing blush a ton. I've been wearing bronzer and highlighter. Although with the new e.l.f. liquid blushes, which by the way are so good, I've actually kind of been getting back into it. I'll do like a full review on those soon, but you might have already tried them at this point. I think they're really nice. So anyway, I know that I personally don't need this palette even though it is stunning, so I plan on skipping over it, but she also did a new shade of the My Dream lipstick called Berry Pop, and then a lip crayon in the same tone. So anyway, it is available now. I'll link it in the description box below. I do have a coupon for Natasha Denona's website if you're ordering directly from her website. It's just Andrea15 and it will get you 15% off. So I'll link that below if you're interested too. But of course, they are available at Ulta and Sephora as well. I wanted to talk about this collection from ColourPop because I've seen some strong opinions on this one. ColourPop launched a Twilight themed collection and I thought it was kind of fun. I didn't expect to see a Twilight themed collection. I was a diehard Twilight fan back in the day. I read all the books. My sister and I went to like some sort of movie marathon at the movie theater where they played like 4 movies right in a row. Like we were there for a really long time, like over 12 hours, I want to say. So we were definitely fans back in the day. So I thought it was kind of fun to see this. So I'm filming this the day after it launched. It sold out so fast. I did not expect this to sell out as quickly, especially because I saw some mixed opinions on the collection. Anyway, I was on Instagram like a few minutes after it launched. So I saw their announcement post and then I was reading through the comments and it sold out in minutes. So I don't know if they had like a lot of stock or if they did have a lot of stock and it just sold out, but I didn't expect that to be the case because a lot of people were saying they weren't a big fan of like the color story, the products in the collection. Honestly, I do feel like this palette fits the theme of the movie really, really well. There are greens and blues and silvery tones. I think maybe some people were thinking like red and black shades, like a typical vampire themed collection, but the Twilight movie has like that intense blue filter on it the entire time. And of course, like they're in the woods, there's a lot of like water and trees and nature. And I don't know, I really do feel like the palette itself makes sense to me personally. I almost feel like if they threw in like a black or a red, it would have thrown everything off. So the palette itself is $24. There are some other products as well. Luxe lip oils for $11 each. Super Shock highlighters, and they have like a duochrome finish to them for $10 each. Graphic liners for $10 each, and then a dry body oil for $10 each, which makes sense too. It's definitely, again, not your typical like vampire themed collection. I do think the collection makes sense in my opinion, and obviously, I guess enough people loved it that it sold out. So anyway, if you missed it on ColourPop's website, I'm sure they're going to restock it, but if not, it's coming to Ulta on January 24th. So I'll link it on Ulta's website below. Also, if you were a Twilight fan back in the day, were you Team Edward or Team Jacob? I was definitely Team Jacob, although I think by the end I probably switched. Essence added 2 new products to their Lash Princess line. I am still such a fan of the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. It's one of my favorites, although I do know there are a lot of people who don't love that formula, but if you like it, they did add a new black brown shade, and then they also added a mascara primer. So I've been testing out both of those products. The black brown works really well. It works just like the original, but I don't know, like I know brown mascara is really trendy right now, but I've come to realize that I don't love like the black brown shades. I either want black mascara or brown mascara. I don't want like a dark, dark, dark brown that almost looks black. It is a little bit softer on the eyes, so I feel like it does make more sense for me if I don't want something as harsh as black, but I want like a true brown from them. They did do the Lash Princess liquid liners and they did a brown version and that was like a true brown liner. I didn't end up liking the formula of it, but I did like the brown shade. So if they like literally took that and turned it into a mascara, that would have been perfect. I haven't used the mascara primer enough to decide how I feel about it. The first time I used it, I didn't love it, but I want to test it out a few more times. They also have the Volume Booster eye primer, which works really, really well. So I honestly think I probably will end up preferring that one to the new one. The new one is supposed to be a little bit more lengthening, and the Volume Booster adds a lot of thickness to your lashes. But I'll keep you posted once I try it out a few more times. Okay, Fenty is launching a new concealer. Honestly, I feel like they're a little bit late to the game. I know brands launch things at different times, but there were so many concealer launches in 2023 that I feel like a lot of people probably found like their new holy grail concealer, their new go-to between like Natasha Denona, Tower 28, Makeup by Mario, House Labs. I feel like a lot of people probably aren't as interested in the Fenty concealer, but that might not be the case if you are a fan of Fenty or none of those really did it for you. I tried so many last year that I feel like I'm not in a hurry to run out and try a new one. But I will say this does sound a little bit nicer than their existing one. So they do have the Pro Filter Concealer, which I tried years ago. I remember being kind of dry. This is supposed to be more of a hydrating concealer. It's called the We're Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer. It's supposed to be moisturizing, reduce redness, bags, and darkness. It is a medium coverage and it comes in 50 shades. So I do think overall it probably sounds like it's going to appeal to more people than the original concealer because that one is definitely on the more matte side. I don't know. I've seen it pop up a few times on my Instagram feed. I haven't actually watched like a full review of it, but I've seen people using it. So maybe I'll have to check out some reviews. I'm just definitely not in a hurry to buy a new concealer because I did try a lot that I loved last year. Tarte also launched a concealer. So if you haven't seen this yet, I'm not going to put the picture on the screen. If you hear the words Maracuja Juicy Concealer, like what type of packaging would you assume that would come in? Honestly, for me, I would have assumed like a ClickUp brush tip applicator. That would have been so good for like a lightweight, hydrating, glowy concealer, or maybe even if it came in like the original or like the typical concealer packaging with a doe foot, that would have made more sense. This one actually comes in a pot. When I think of a pot concealer, I usually do think of like a creamy concealer, but usually something that dries down more matte. And this is supposed to be kind of like the opposite. So they say it is a full coverage, natural radiant concealer. It's supposed to give you smoother, brighter, more lifted, youthful looking eyes. So it is made with like a built-in eye cream to hydrate, and it's not supposed to cake, crease, whether you're using it under the eyes or like around your face to spot conceal. It sounds interesting. Again, I know I don't need this because I have tried a lot of concealers in 2023 and a lot of hydrating concealers too. So I feel like I really don't need to run out and buy this one, but I do think it looks a little bit different than what we've seen. It comes in 21 shades. If you buy it with a brush, you can get it for $32. If you skip the brush, you can get it for $30. So I'll link it below if you're interested in it. Okay, last minute addition. I actually saw these after I filmed my video, but since we are on the topic of Tarte, I wanted to talk about them. They did launch a new palette. They actually have two different versions of their new Maracuja Juicy Eye and Cheek palette. So these retail for $52. That feels like a lot for Tarte. I mean, you do get a lot of product in here. It looks like you get 12 different eyeshadows and then 3 cheek products. It looks like the cheek products are creams, and I can't tell, but it doesn't look like they have any sort of separation. Like with the Natasha Denona palettes that have powders and creams, there's a little plastic piece that protects the creams. Same with like the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palettes. Actually, wait, here's a video. In this clip, it does look like there is a plastic piece over the creams. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. I think it's kind of like a fun change, a little bit of a spin on your typical eyeshadow palette. If you took the cream cheek products out, I do think there are other Tarte palettes that look pretty similar to these. At least, oh wait, are they the same shadows? Okay, wait, so they're the same eyeshadows in both, but the cheek products are different. It kind of looks like one of their Tarte lip palettes, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't tried one of those in a few years. So I like that they did 2 different options depending on your preferences, your skin tone. It's pretty big and bulky. So I don't plan on picking this up. I feel like for $52, it's just not, that's a little high for me personally since I have shadows like this. But I have to say, Tarte has definitely improved their eyeshadow formula over the last few years. Oh, I wanted to talk about the new Summer Fridays launch. So the only product I've tried from Summer Fridays has been their lip butter balm. I tried them last year, kind of like the end of last year, or like the second half of last year, and I just fell in love. At first I was like, it's good, but I don't know that it's like a true necessity. And now I feel like I can't like leave my house without it. I have to reapply it multiple times a day. They just smell good. They feel good. Like everything about that product I love. So to be honest, I haven't been that interested in like their other products because that is just such a standout for me. And the rest of their products, I believe, are all skincare related. And I don't know, I just feel like they haven't been as interesting to me, but this looks really, really nice. They're launching lip oils on January 17th at Sephora. This formula comes in 4 shades and they describe it as a plush lip oil that glides on like a dream to deliver high shine, tint, and intense hydration. I definitely plan on trying it. I kind of wonder, like, would I try it if it wasn't Summer Fridays? Like, if this was Ilia, because it kind of looks like it could be an Ilia launch, would I try it? Probably not, but because I've had such a good experience with their lip butter balms, I just have such high hopes for their lip oils. So I probably will try it. I will only buy one to make sure I like it first, and I think I'll probably go with the shade Rosewood Nights. It looks like they are pretty sheer overall, but this one is like the perfect brown toned nude, and I think it will be amazing for the winter time. So that is one product I definitely plan on trying. Makeup by Mario also launched a new lip product. It is the SuperSatin lipstick. It looks like they come in 18 different shades, and there are some really gorgeous colors. I'm definitely getting more into lipstick again. Like for 2022 and most of 2023, I think this probably started like back in 2020. I remember really falling in love with like lip oils and lip glosses and sheer products in 2020, mostly because we were home and I just wanted something really comfortable. So I would say for like the past 4 years, I've really been on like a sheer glossy lip product kick. And I do still love like a good lip oil, a good lip gloss, but I do wear lipstick a lot more these days. And it's nice to have like actual color and actual pigment. But anyway, these look pretty. And I feel like I kind of want to try it out. I feel like if anyone could do a good lipstick, it'd probably be him. I probably will pick one up. But again, I might wait until the Sephora sale rolls around in the spring. That's what I tend to do. Like if there's something I actually want to try, I'll add it to my Sephora loves list. And then when the sale rolls around, if I'm still interested in trying it, I might grab it then. But sometimes by then there are products that I just lose interest in. So I feel like that's a good time frame for me personally. Like if it's not something I feel like will fill a spot in my makeup collection right now or something I want to review on my channel, I just kind of like file it away for later. So I might try those at some point. He also did Ultra Suede sculpting lip pencils for $24 each. I'm not as excited about these because I do have so many other lip liner formulas I love. And like lip liner is one category that I feel like I could be completely happy with if I just stuck with drugstore lip liners. There are some high-end lip liners that I like the Rare Beauty one is great. I also do like the Charlotte Tilbury lip liners, but I feel like they're not like true essentials in my collection compared to some other high-end products. So I don't plan on picking those up. Buxom is launching a new blush. I loved their Wanderlust primer infused blushes so much. I don't know if they're being discontinued. I was on Ulta's website and there's only one shade left. I don't even think they're available at Sephora anymore. They are on the Buxom website though. So I don't know if they're being like fully phased out, but I really enjoyed those. Anyway, this new formula is a plumping cream to powder that plumps, defines, and gives you like a natural blurred filter-like finish. There are 5 shades for $28 each. Based on like that quick description, they almost sound like the Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veils. Although I wouldn't say the Makeup by Mario ones are like a cream to powder, those stay dewy on the skin. So maybe they apply like the Makeup by Mario ones, but then dry down a little bit. That could be nice. Or they kind of almost sound a little bit similar to Danessa Myricks, which I haven't tried. I might try them at some point. I don't know. I feel like I do need to cut back on blushes in 2024. My blush collection as a whole is definitely a little bit bigger. And as I was going through it when I was doing like my end of the year declutter, I just did like a full collection declutter where I just kind of like looked through each drawer. There weren't a lot of blushes I wanted to declutter. So I feel like because of that, because I didn't have anything leave, I really don't need to bring like a ton of products in. Smashbox is launching a new face palette called the Halo Sculpt and Glow Face Palette. They used to have some really good palettes back in the day. A lot of people enjoyed like their contour palette. I think they had like a highlighter blush palette. This one actually comes with a highlighter, 2 blushes, and a bronzer. And then they did 4 different variations. So depending on what tones you like or your skin tone, there might be one that works better for you. I think that's really nice to see. Most brands don't do 4 options. Like they don't do 2 options, let alone 4 options. So I love that they have some different options depending on what you typically would go for. It's described as a cushiony formula to build effortless, natural looking color and dimension. These are available now at Ulta. So if you are a fan or you were a fan of Smashbox palettes back in the day, these might jump out at you. A couple new foundations. About Face just launched the Performer Skin Focused Foundation. This sounds really nice. I think I might try this one. It's a cushiony formula packed with 17 skincare ingredients to maintain moisture and then help even and smooth your skin throughout the day. They're saying it's like a skin first hybrid foundation. It's supposed to be buildable, breathable, wearable, and cakeless, seamless. There are 45 different shades for $22. I don't see it at Ulta yet, but it is on the About Face website. It sounds nice. I might try it out. Like I'm kind of interested in trying a couple of new foundations this year because I do think my preferences have changed a lot when it comes to foundation, and I just want something that looks very skin-like but feels very lightweight and lasts on the skin. I don't know, like out of all of the makeup I ever try, I have the worst luck with foundation. Like 9 times out of 10, I won't like the new foundation I try. So I just don't try a ton of new foundation, but I do think foundations have come such a long way. Like now the formulas are a little bit lighter and softer on the skin. So I might pick it up. Okay, and then Kylie Cosmetics launched a new foundation as well. I still, at this point, haven't tried anything from Kylie Cosmetics. Honestly, I feel like I forget the brand exists. This foundation is called the Power Plush Longwear Foundation. It's supposed to instantly blur your skin, leave you with a flawless airbrush finish that stays put for 12 hours. There are 40 different shades, and it's a medium buildable coverage, and it will be available on January 17th. I don't know, it almost feels like all foundations have like the same claims these days. Like they claim to be blurring and long wearing and smooth and weightless and skin like. So I don't know. What is your like number one go-to foundation? Something that you feel like you could wear for like easy everyday makeup looks, or something you could wear when you want to look a little more flawless. Like I want like a foundation that I can wear all the time. And I do tend to wear the Catrice one quite a bit. Like if I want a lighter coverage look, I'll just sheer it out, or I might mix it with like a glowy product. But I'm definitely curious to try a few more options this year. So please let me know if there's anything you love. Okay, I think that's all we'll talk about in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. I would love to know if there's anything you plan on picking up, anything you plan on skipping over. I'm planning on doing like that big drugstore roundup. I know there have been a ton of drugstore launches, and I didn't talk about a lot of them in today's video because I've been testing them out either off camera, or I tested some out on camera. So I'll come back and let you know which ones I think are truly worth the money, which ones aren't. And let me know if there's anything you want to see on my channel in 2024 so I can add it to my list. And I'll see you very soon with a new one. Bye.